If they don't recognize me as a member of the Gong family, I will really sue them. This is what Gong Jindan said in the drama. It was a line spoken by a worthless person who didn't even know the topic and was running wild. In the preview for episode 39, it seems that Gong Jintaek is involved in a major car accident. What happened and who is the culprit? I will tell you a cool story of how the smart go Pil Sung solves the problem. Gong Jindan started to reveal his wicked personality just like his mother, Hong Egyo. He used the name Gong Jindan to secure a high position in the company, but he was completely lacking in ability. Gong Jindan couldn't bear to hear that he was the son of a spy, even though he felt great pride in being a true member of the Gong family. In the midst of this, he discovered the truth that he was not the son of Gong but the son of Jin Sang-gu. The moment he learned this fact, Gong Jindan's mind became confused. The son of Jin Sang-gu? Who am I really? He was shocked and began to question his own existence. However, even in such confusion, he still held a high position in the company. Just the name Gong Jindan was enough for him to control the company, but Gong Jindan had no interest in the company's work. In his heart, there was only one person, Park Dora. Because of their past, Gong Jindan and Park Dora were entangled, but they realized that their relationship could no longer continue. One day, Gong Jindan called her. "Ji-young, can we meet tonight? I want to take you to a place you'll like." Gong Jindan's voice was desperate, but Park Dora firmly refused. "It's better for us to stop seeing each other now. I can't continue our relationship anymore." Her voice was calm yet firm. Gong Jindan was taken aback and asked, "Why? What did I do wrong? I'll do better for myself. Please reconsider." But Park Dora had already made up her mind. "I know what kind of person you are now. Our relationship ends here." She clearly expressed that she would no longer hold on to any lingering feelings. Gong Jindan was shocked by Park Dora's attitude, but he didn't give up. He prepared an expensive necklace to try to win her back. When Park Dora received it, Gong Jindan tried to find warmth in her eyes, but they were filled with coldness. However, the person who witnessed this scene was Gong Jindan's fiancé, Kim Tae-hee. Kim Tae-hee, filled with anger, approached them and poured a cup of water over Gong Jindan's head. "Did you think I would be fooled by someone like you? Our relationship is over now." She no longer held back and blamed Gong Jindan before leaving. As a result of this incident, Kim Tae-hee's family immediately declared the end of the engagement with Gong Jindan. As Kim Tae-hee's family had great power and wealth, this broken engagement was a big shock to the Gong family, especially Gong Dae-suk. Gong Jindan's aunt felt a great sense of loss as she had put in a lot of effort to make the marriage happen. "Jindan, you made a big mistake. If this marriage has happened, I would have given you shares in my company. But now everything has become meaningless." Gong Dae-suk couldn't hide her disappointment and reprimanded him. In the end, Gong Jindan was rejected by everyone. He relied on alcohol every day and gradually fell apart. He neglected his work at the company and eventually caused a major accident. Gong Jintaek called Gong Jindan and scolded him severely. "You are no longer a member of our family. Leave this house immediately." His voice was filled with anger, and Gong Jindan could only bow his head in silence. All his self-esteem was shattered. Gong Dae-suk also turned her back on him. "Jindan, you ruined this family. I can no longer trust you," she said coldly. Gong Jindan was eventually driven out of the house, but he didn't give up easily. Hong Egyo and Gong Jindan started plotting a new conspiracy. Their plan was ruthless. If Gong Jintaek were to die, and since a successor had not been determined, Gong Jindan thought he could become the successor of APP Group. The opportunity has come. If Gong Jintaek disappears, everything will be ours, Hong Egyo whispered to Gong Jindan with a sinister smile. From the beginning, Hong Egyo and Gong Jindan had felt ignored in the Gong family, so they began to show their inferiority complex through the crime. Gong Jindan sat alone in a dark room, drinking alcohol and lost in deep thought. Is there really no other way? He asked himself, but in the end, his desire overwhelmed him. He hired someone to disguise the accident and eliminate Gong Jintaek. A few weeks later, Gong Jintaek was involved in a major accident. The culprit left no trace and disappeared. The Gong family was shocked by the accident, and Gong Jintaek's condition was serious. Perfect! No one will be able to find out what we did, Gong Jindan said triumphantly. Hong Egyo looked satisfied by his side. They were now confident that they could take control of APP Group. However, their plan was crumbling due to an unexpected person. It was Pil Sung. He began to thoroughly investigate the accident caused by Gong Jintaek. Pil Sung traced the vehicle involved in the accident and found the culprit's trail. Eventually, he revealed the truth that Gong Jindan was the real culprit behind the accident. One day, Pil Sung met Gong Jindan. He took a photo from his pocket. Look at this photo, Jindan. Do you know what it is? Gong Jindan looked surprised as he looked at the photo. The photo contained fragments of the car found at the accident scene. Pil Sung glared at him with a determined expression and said, "It's over for you, Jindan. Remember all the crimes you committed. You will go to prison now." Gong Jindan sensed that everything was over in that moment. His face turned pale and his hands began to tremble. "Please, just look at me one more time, Pil Sung. I made a mistake. I won't do something like this again." Gong Jindan pleaded desperately, but Pil Sung's heart was resolute. "There is no forgiveness, Jindan. You will pay for the crimes you committed." Pil Sung replied coldly. In that moment, Gong Jindan was overwhelmed with despair and began to shed tears. But Pil Sung turned away from him and handed him over to the police. Gong Jintaek recovered in the hospital and sighed with relief when he heard that Pil Sung had obtained evidence of Gong Jindan's crimes. "Pil Sung, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have survived. Now I want to entrust the future of our family to you." In the end, the villains Hong Egyo and Gong Jindan were sentenced to long prison terms in court, and their lives ended tragically. Their cunning plan ended in failure, and they lost everything. Now, APP Group was preparing to be reborn under the just successor, Pil Sung. However, Gong Jintaek couldn't erase one worry from his heart. "Pil Sung, can you really lead this family well if I die?" He still felt uneasy, even though he trusted him. Pil Sung smiled and said, "Chairman Gong, don't worry. I will definitely make APP Group prosper, following your wishes." Gong Jintaek nodded in relief. "Yes, Pil Sung, I trust you." As time passed, APP Group flourished even more under the leadership of Pil Sung, and behind him, there was always the trust and support of Gong Jintaek. This is how the story will unfold. Thank you for watching.
'Cause you are beautiful.